Hello, everyone. This is Yolanda, and I'm back for our energy of the day. So, today I am going to use the um, Psychic Tarot Oracle deck again, just like I used yesterday, mainly because I didn't take the time to choose another deck before doing the video. So, I will be using various decks throughout this process. And one of the things I realized yesterday is that although my intention is to pull cards that speak to energy of the day or to give a message to anyone who may hear these videos or watch these videos at any particular time, I think it's important for all of us to acknowledge that there are a lot of lessons and insights within Oracle, Tarot, all different systems of divination and that just fall under the umbrella of spirituality. So we can gain a lot of different perspectives and gain more clarity by doing practices like meditation or energy work such as Reiki. And then again, using tools like this, like an oracle card deck or a tarot deck. So while, again, I'm going to pull asking for the energy of the day, there's also an intention of just pulling cards to reflect a message that will be most beneficial for us in terms of looking at things, anything in our lives, from a different perspective. Okay, so let's pull our first card. The first card we have is movement, choices, and decisions. So the first thing that's coming through about this card is the number 2 that's up at the top. And for those of you who aren't familiar with reading oracle cards yet, sometimes a message may jump out for you in the imagery, sometimes the keywords, or sometimes the number. And I actually have an online class that teaches you how to read oracle cards and to access your intuition. So you can go to my website, yewchi.com, which is YEWCHI.com, if you want to learn more about that. But so this card, movement, choices, and decisions today, what's standing out is the number 2 right away. And what I'm getting from that is when we do have choices to make, decisions to make, it's often good to look at both sides of the coin. So there's really this energy around the polarity or the duality of any given situation at any time. A lot of times our lens is very narrow. We may have a very narrow point of view that may be based on, our past experience, our emotional response. There are so many different things that may cause us to have a one-track mind. But today the message is about looking at both sides of the coin when you are making a decision. Now, as far as the image, what stands out is that there are different points of focus in each window that this person is standing in front of. So we have the clouds, which could just be thoughtfulness, being really in our heads. We have a symbol for growth, a symbol for relationship, or even money. So if you are having thoughts or a circumstance where you have to make a decision today around finances, around career, around relationship, again, look at both sides of the coin. Now, one thing with that as well, if it does relate to your relationship, this could also be a message to consider the other person's point of view as well. So not just looking at your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs, but put yourself in the other person's shoes before making a decision or making any move. Now, one of the things that's also coming up around this is we can be sometimes kind of hasty with our decision making, like having a trigger response or being so inspired that we just want to jump ahead at something. But this is a reminder to really take that time and pause, be in that space of consideration before putting new energy in motion. So a card to support this, what came up, the shadow card. Interestingly enough, you cannot make this stuff up. This speaks to, again, that duality, the yin and the yang, the feminine, masculine, light and dark. but more specifically, not just looking at both sides of the coin in your decision making, but being open enough to look in the mirror and be honest with you. Make sure that you're not jumping to decisions that are being informed by your fear or, old stories or things that may not be true and are not really supportive or serving you. Sometimes our ego can get in the way and we start making decisions from that lens rather than allowing ourselves to look at that, look at ourselves in the mirror, seeing what may be in the way of us making the best choice for us at any given time. And again, a lot of times it's just what we have in the shadow, those fear-based choices, especially when you're on the fence of like afraid to make a move because you don't want to mess up or do the wrong thing, or you're stuck in the attachment of how you want things to play out. All of that is going to be in the shadow. So take time, look at both sides of the coin, and do some inner work. Sit back and look at you. This isn't that dissimilar from yesterday's reading, in fact. So it's interesting that they both are very introspective, especially now that I'm thinking about it. We have so many planets in retrograde right now. And when planets go in retrograde, it really is about the energy of those planets going internal or seemingly backward, but it's about looking at those energies from an internalized lens, sitting with things, not necessarily rushing outward into the action. So this week seems to be, so far, a lot of consideration of what's going on in the mind. Look at both sides of the coin, check in with your shadow, and also the number on this card, the 18. The number 1 is about alignment. The number 8, if you look at the shape of it, really speaks to that harmonization of as above, so below, the light and the dark, the yin and the yang, but the two finding compromise and harmonizing even in that midsection of the 8. So whatever it is you're thinking about, you don't have to be so rigid in your decision. Sometimes there's a compromise to be had. And when we add the 1 and the 8 together, we get 9, which is a reminder to stay in your integrity. Be true to you and whomever is involved with your decision. So I hope that's helpful. Again, if you want some more information about how to access and develop your own intuitive gifts or how to read oracle cards and more, go to my website, yuchi.com, and you'll get more information there. Have a beautiful day.